It doesn't matter if you've been playing Apex in Season 1, you're going to learn at least 3 brand new things about the different attachments you didn't even know existed. I'm Pesky Frank, and I'm going to break down all the attachments and go more in depth than anybody else has ever done before. Let's start with the barrel stabilizers and laser sights first. Everybody knows that barrel stabilizers decrease the amount of recoil your gun has, but they actually have 2 other uses that people don't know about. If you didn't know, each bullet has a little bit of randomness to it. That's why if you spray the R301 twice, the recoil pattern is a tiny bit different. It has the same general shape, but each bullet has a little bit of random variance. This randomness of the bullet is known as bloom. Bloom is broken into 2 different parts, vertical and horizontal variance. The random vertical variance is known as yaw, and the horizontal variance is known as pitch. So barrel stabilizers decrease the amount of yaw, pitch, as well as the amount of recoil between each bullet. The random vertical variance, or yaw, is reduced up to 30% with a purple barrel, but the pitch, or random horizontal variance, is only reduced by 20%. There are only 7 guns in Apex that use barrel stabilizers, and they're all seen right here. Now, laser sights kind of do the same thing for SMGs, except laser sights have no effect on bloom while ADSing. Laser sights only affect the amount of hipfire spread in 3 different ways. When hipfiring, you can imagine the bullets can go anywhere within this circle. This circle is known as your hipfire spread. The better laser you have, the smaller the circle, or less hipfire spread you'll have. The purple laser reduces the amount of hipfire spread by 60%, and lasers do 2 other things as well. When you start moving, the hipfire spread increases in size. The better laser you have, the longer it takes the circle to grow to its maximum size. This max size is known as your moving hipfire spread, and when you stop moving, lasers decrease the time it takes from your moving hipfire spread to return to the base hipfire spread. When the hipfire shrinks like this, it's known as hipfire spread decay. There are only 5 guns in Apex that use laser sights, and they're all right here. I just wanted to take a few moments to say thank you for clicking on this video. It really means a lot to me, and welcome to the channel. I've got a bunch of movement tech tutorials, including how to hyper jump, the secret advanced tap strafe called the RAD strafe, and the best super glide tutorial on YouTube. So if you like in-depth videos just like this one, make sure you check those out after this video is over. Thank you. Now let's talk about the optics. There are 10 different optics in Apex Legends, and only these 4 can go on every single gun in the game. Now the 3x and 2x4 can go on 15 different guns. The ARs, LMGs, snipers, and all the marksman rifles, except the Bowtech. It can't use the 2x4, but it can use the 3x. Now both the 6x sniper and 4x variable sniper can only go on sniper rifles. Imagine that. And we have the digital threat, also known as the digi threat, that can go on all pistols, shotguns, and SMGs. Also, fun fact, did you know that digi threats only have a max range of 45 meters in the smoke? If you're farther than 45 meters, you won't see the enemies highlighted in red in the smoke. Leave a like if you didn't know this. And finally, the last optic is the 4x10 digi sniper threat that, of course, only goes on the snipers. Let's quickly go over the 6 hop-ups that are currently in the game. First, we have the double tap trigger. The double tap trigger can only go on the �ㄫ8 and G7 𝐾𝐽. Every time you shoot once, you'll shoot another bullet. Next, we have Skull Piercer. The Skull Piercer can go on 3 weapons, the 30-30, longbow, and wingman. The Skull Piercer increases the headshot multiplier by 0.35. Number 3 is the turbocharger. The turbo only works with 2 guns, the Devotion and the Havoc, and it affects each of them differently. If you have a turbocharger on your Devotion, it increases the starting rate of fire from 300 to 408. This allows the Devotion to reach its max rate of fire of 900 RPM much faster. We also have the Havoc, which has a spin-up delay before you can fire. When using the turbocharger, the Havoc shoots instantly. Next, we have hammer point rounds. Hammer point rounds only work on the P20 and the Mozambique. Hammer point rounds increase the weapon's damage to flesh only. This means after you crack somebody, the P20 does 50% more and the Mozam does 35% more damage. Number 5, we have shatter caps. The shatter caps are built into the bow this season, making it the only weapon that can use shatter caps. When you hipfire the bow, you shoot a shotgun blast of 7 arrows. This shotgun blast does more damage than usual to the legs, but less damage to the head. And lastly, we have the disruptor shells. Just like shatter caps, disruptor shells are only available on the RE45 since it's built in. Disruptor shells increase the RE45's base damage to enemy shields only. So with the RE45, you do 27 damage to the head, but after you crack them, the damage reduces back to 21 damage per shot. Next, let's talk about the magazines. Magazines only increase the number of bullets your gun can hold. You don't reload faster. On average, purple magazines have 30% more bullets than the base capacity. Now this percentage is an average increase from the base weapon capacity. For example, the P20 gets another 2 bullets from no mag to gray and gray to blue, but gets 3 bullets from blue to gray. This increase is pretty close to the average, but the Prowler gets another 5 bullets for each mag upgrade, giving the purple and gold mag a 43% increase. This may seem like a lot, but it's just 1 more burst per mag since the Prowler is a 5-round burst gun, and the Wingman only gets a 1 more shot per mag increase. So I went and looked at every single gun in the game and found out how much more bullets each mag gets. And I found the true average. The average I found is that from base to gray, you get another 3.1 bullets, and the increase from gray to blue and blue to purple is about 2.8 bullets. This is super important to remember for later. Now shotguns are different. You don't get more ammo with a better bolt, you just shoot faster. The gray bolt increases the rate of fire by 11%, and the purple or gold increases by 22% from the base rate of fire. This applies to the �ㄵ8, the Mastiff, and the Mozambique, but the Peacekeeper is a little bit different. The Peacekeeper will rechamber the next shot quicker. This means that the PK will rechamber up to 15% faster with a purple bolt. Now, what's the difference between purple and gold mags? Well, a gold magazine will reload your weapon while it's holstered. This applies to every single weapon class except the shotguns. The gold shotgun bolt will reload your gun every time you slide. This even works when you have the gun holstered. Finally, we have the stocks. The stocks have 5 different abilities. The first thing stocks do is reload your weapon much faster. Stocks decrease the amount of time it takes for you to switch from that weapon to your next weapon. You also raise and lower your weapon faster after you heal or use an ability. You also enter ADS and exit ADS much faster. And the 5th and final thing stocks do is decrease the amount of weapon sway when you're aiming down sights. Pro tip, you should always put the highest tier stock you have on either your AR or your LMG, since they have much slower reloads and handling speeds compared to your SMGs. Also, make sure you reload with at least 1 bullet left in your gun. This is called a tactical reload, and it's about 1 full second faster than if you reloaded with 0 bullets. Leave a like if you didn't know about tac reloading. Now, sniper stocks do all the same thing as the regular stocks, but they have a 6th extra ability. The extra thing sniper stocks do that regular stocks don't is slow down the speed that the sniper sways back and forth while ADSing. This is known as your drift speed. Now the biggest thing you can learn from this video is that the largest improvement for any attachment isn't from gray to blue or from blue to purple, it's from no attachment to gray attachment. Any upgrade from there starts to decrease. We can easily see this with the increased levels of shotgun bolts. The change from no bolt to gray bolt is 11%, but from gray to blue, it's only 6%, and from blue to purple, it's 5%. So what does this mean? It means stop looting. If you have at least gray attachments, anything better is just icing on the cake. And that's everything. If you learned anything at all today or enjoyed the video, make sure you leave a like. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe. It really helps me out. Also, if you want to see more videos, you can click somewhere over here and you can check them out there.